Hi everyone, this is Mr. Nataraj, Regional Manager of Alpha PVT Ltd. Alpha PVT Ltd is a company who makes and distributes products for more than 2 international pharmaceutical and healthcare companies. Mr. Nataraj responsible for managing exciting clients and also get new clients. However, currently he is facing a problem. A customer who complained that his sales representative, Mr. Bhavan, was ineffective and insisted he should be removed. His thoughts are: first, in internal inquiry, the client and Mr. Bhavan have personal differences. Second, Mr. Bhavan is an excellent worker. Dismissing him is not relevant. Third, a Good Health Hospital is a major customer. Losing the hospital is not an option. Fortunately, we found some alternatives of the solution to help Mr. Nataraj. First solution, I will try to get Mr. Bhavan and get the hospital superintendent, meet of them and discuss and to find what's the problem between both of them. I'm going to listen to both parties and discuss in a good way. Advantages: both of them can clarify about the problems that they in a professional way. The disadvantages: Mr. Bhavan or the hospital superintendent does not like to face-to-face communication.
Next, the second solution is Good Health Hospital is a major customer and cannot be displeased. I will remove or transfer Mr. Bhavan. The advantage for this solution is because Mr. Bhavan has been removed, the hospital should not worry. The disadvantage for this solution is the moral of the workplace will be affected by his dismissal or transferred to a new region, since his track record was good and he was liked within the company.
The third solution is ask Mr. Bhavan the reason why he being like that. If the reason is relevant and can be accepted, I will forgive him and give him another chance to him, since he is important person on hospital. The advantage is Mr. Bhavan promised that he will not continue the mistake again and will be more careful in his work. The disadvantages is Mr. Nataraj already knew about it and Mr. Bhavan will get ashamed on his mistake.
We choose option number 1. Make both of them discuss and compromise. How to make the discussion? Mr. Nataraj needs to arrange an appointment to conduct a discussion between Mr. Bhavan and the hospital client. Mr. Nataraj needs to have a close discussion in the meeting room or in his office to resolve this ongoing problem and conflicts. This is because when this discussion is done in a closed area, then there will be not party who will interfere with the discussion. Mr. Nataraj, Mr. Bhavan and the hospital client need to talk to avoid loss to anyone. We choose the first option because by having a calm discussion, Mr. Nataraj, Mr. Bhavan and the hospital client were able to identify the real cause of the misunderstanding. By discussing, Mr. Nataraj was able to make a more reasonable and good decision. When the discussion takes place, Mr. Bhavan and the hospital client will both discuss ways for them to work together again. We choose the first option because in this way, everyone involved will not receive a loss and will remain work together.
An international NGO based in UK provide food grains and powdered milk to families who suffered malnutrition or starvation in the island of Papua New Guinea. Things are great until the education minister of Papua New Guinea is delaying the process of school system involvement. There is a monsoon coming and the local school officials are eager for the food supply. Sarah Britton flew from London to visit the representative from the Food for Children. But then she discovered that the education of ministry is delaying the process in hope for a bride. Sarah quickly sends an email to the executive committee in London asking what to do. Email: I just arrived in Papua Tuya. I discovered that the education minister is delaying the process of approval. He told me that he wants a bride in exchange for the approval. What should I do? The executive committee has given Sarah 3 options. First, follow the minister's one, which is giving him the bride. Advantage: the families who suffered malnutrition and starvation will get the food grains and powdered milk before the monsoon. Disadvantage: the education minister will continue practicing corruption because there is no action taken and no report about him.
Next, the second solution is directly supply the food grains and powdered milk to the families before the monsoon arrive. The advantage for this solution is the risk that Sarah took allowed their children to be protected from malnutrition and starvation and provided them with enough food to prepare for the approaching monsoon. The disadvantage for this solution is the people could believe the supplier is from their minister.
Third is report to the near police station that Minister of Education is delaying the process in hopes for a bride. The advantage is people will realize that his education minister is unreliable because to his corruption the education minister will be apprehended. The disadvantages is there will not be supply in food for the families who suffered malnutrition and starvation because of no approval from the minister.
Sarah chose to report to the police about the corruption incident that happened to her. This is because this does not happen to others. In this way, her can stop the corruption that is happening in the administrative system. This will also ease the delivery of food aid to the people of Papua Tuya. In this way, it will make all parties aware their subordinates are opposite and take advantage of. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.